Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Redding, Director of the Center for Bleeding and Clotting Disorders at the University of Minnesota Medical Center, Fairview. Bleeds that occur into the joints can eventually lead to long-term, irreversible damage. In the past, many have accepted this fact as a given, but lately a new, more empowering opinion is taking shape. More and more, people with hemophilia are realizing that joint damage is not inevitable, and studies suggest that exercise may lessen joint problems. By making exercise and physical therapy part of your daily routine, you can build strength, maintain healthy muscles and joints, and help counteract the development of abnormal posture. Exercise makes your body more durable. It enables you to have heavier bones and stronger connective tissue, all while improving blood supply to muscles and joints. Another important benefit is coordination, lessening the likelihood of injury. Exercise also builds endurance, so you can stay strong longer. This program will show you how to exercise safely while keeping your joints healthy. It'll also help you understand how exercise can improve your quality of life with hemophilia. To teach you all about active living with hemophilia, I'd like to introduce a colleague of mine, Jeff Kahlberg. Jeff is a physical therapist who specializes in working with people with hemophilia. As he'll share with you, exercise is not only easy and fun, it can also change your life. Let's turn it over to Jeff.
Thanks, Dr. Redding. You know, he's right. In the past, people with hemophilia severely limited the types of activities they did because of the risk of injury, myself included. Let me tell you about how I overcame this obstacle and started living an active lifestyle. My story may not apply to everyone, so it's important to consult your healthcare professional to determine an exercise plan that works for you. I'd like to start by sharing my story with you. I'm 40 years old, have hemophilia, and grew up in the 70s. During this time, I experienced many bleeds. In school, I often needed braces and crutches just to get around. When I entered the workforce, years of bleeding episodes and arthritis left me feeling weak, unconditioned, and uncoordinated. I was discouraged from exercising because of the stress it would put on my joints. However, one of my doctors prescribed some physical therapy, and that was a life-changing experience. After just 6 sessions, I felt a big difference. From there, I joined a health club, learned how to lift weights, and began working out. This newly found passion for exercise eventually sparked an interest in physical therapy as a profession. I also joined a recreational volleyball league, but ankle pain limited me, so I did things like adjust my footwear, used ice routinely, and exercise to build up strength, coordination, and flexibility. I also studied a martial art where the instructors worked with me to build my balance and coordination so I could participate with less chance of injury. Each success led me to believe that things I once thought unachievable were anything but. With that in mind, a few years ago, my brother and I opened a special rehabilitation gym where I work with people with hemophilia, individuals of all ages and rehabilitation needs. I truly love my work. Helping people see how exercise can change their lives is immensely gratifying. I'd like to share my philosophy about staying fit with hemophilia. The fact is, while you can take measures to prevent injury, there's always some risk of getting hurt. This is true for everyone who is active, not just people with hemophilia. What I'm going to teach you is how to stay fit and enjoy an active life while minimizing the risk of injury. As Dr. Redding noted, the benefits of exercise include increased strength, coordination, and endurance. When you think about how these translate to real life, it's easy to see how important it is to stay fit. Whether the activities are everyday ones like carrying groceries home, or more challenging ones like playing sports, exercise makes life easier. When you and your fitness professional are designing your exercise regimen, keep in mind that everyone is unique. Some of us engage in more strenuous exercise, while others need our fitness for day-to-day activities. Your fitness plan should be tailored to your abilities and goals. It's essential to have a complete assessment done by a fitness professional before getting started, after which specific exercises are chosen to match your unique situation. Before I teach you about specific exercises, let's take a moment to touch on the basics of joints. When you understand how joints work, you'll be better prepared to prevent injury. A joint is where 2 or more bones connect. Major joints include the shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, and ankle. Each joint, like this knee, is surrounded by a broad ligament called the joint capsule. Inside this protective sac is a membrane called the synovium. The synovium makes synovial fluid that lubricates and nourishes the cartilage, the lining that keeps the bones inside the joint from grinding against each other. The synovium is a very important structure. This membrane is the source of bleeding within a joint. When the synovium is inflamed and swollen, you have a condition called synovitis. Bones are joined together by strong bands of tissue called ligaments. Muscles and bones are connected by tough cords of tissue called tendons. Muscles pull on tendons to move or to stabilize joints. They are not part of joints, but help support and protect them. Strong and well-coordinated muscles stabilize joints and allow them to move freely. Knees, ankles, and elbows are the joints most commonly damaged, so it's important for people with hemophilia to keep the muscles that support these joints strong, coordinated, and flexible. The main injuries people with hemophilia can experience while exercising are joint bleeds and soft tissue or muscle bleeds. Sometimes it's not easy to tell them apart, but here's one way to tell the difference between the two. Basically, joints have what is called a capsular pattern. When the joint capsule fills with fluid, the loss of motion occurs in a predictable and consistent manner. For instance, the ankle has a capsular pattern of plantar flexion, or foot down, more than dorsiflexion, or foot up. When filling with fluid, the joint will assume this position. With a muscle bleed, a related joint loses motion opposite of the muscle's function. For instance, if the calf muscles that allow you to stand on your toes are bleeding, the ankle will lose its ability to dorsiflex, the motion opposite of the calf's function. But it will still be able to fully, or almost fully, plantar flex. However, if the bleed occurred in the ankle joint, you'd see a combined loss of motion. The inability to bear weight on a joint is also a good indicator that you have a joint bleed. If it's bleeding and assuming a capsular pattern, it's usually painful to stand on. With a muscle or soft tissue bleed, you may be able to stand without joint pain.